Hey everybody, this is Jack.
And this is Mike.
And thanks. This is the Paranormal Roadshow. We are outside in the wilderness, and today's show is about population control.
Yeah, that's right. Jack was just telling me he saw the new Avengers movie. What's the name of it?
Avengers
Infinity War.
Infinity Wars.
Right. And that has to do with population control. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is a spoiler alert. My son, he's 13, and he's all excited. Well, he's excited because he saw it now, but he was asking to watch it big time because he plays that game Fortnite.
Right.
It's a real popular game where it's like a shooter game, but they merged with Avengers, and the characters in that game become Thanos. He's the main villain in the movie.
Oh wow, I didn't know
His
that.
name's Thanos, if you're a comic book fan or not. But Thanos, so the purpose of the movie is Thanos is this guy, very powerful. I mean, he's pretty powerful, but he has a belief that he alone has the wisdom and the willpower to make the right decisions for the universe. And his decisions are that he thinks half of the population of the entire universe needs to die so the other half can live in prosperity.
Sounds a little bit like Hitler.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'll do it fair because it's just at random, rich, poor. He just will randomly kill half of the population. So, the beginning of the movie starts off with him telling you about this. And you meet many of the characters of the Marvel universe in this movie, because he affects the whole universe. So you meet people from Guardians of the Galaxy, the one Gamora girl's in this, and it shows you how, like, he raised her as his daughter, and it starts off, he killed her mother, but he kept her as his daughter. So he goes to this one planet, separates half the population on one side, puts the other half on the other side. I mean, counts them evenly out, and then they shoot and kill the whole other side, and then they leave the planet. That's what he does. He goes to planets, he kills half the population.
Well, I have not seen the movie yet, so Jack is spoiling this for me too, but that's okay.
So
I knew that was going to happen.
But that's the whole premise of the movie is population control. We were working on this show. We may not have it completed. This might only be part one of it, but so it's kind of like we're talking about population control and kind of a spoiler of the movie. I won't spoil the whole thing, but Thanos is the bad guy, and he believes he is the proper guy to do this because he makes the sacrifices himself.
So we started this show a couple weeks ago before this movie came out. I didn't know the movie was about population control, did you?
No, I didn't.
And I mean, I jotted down some notes. I mean, my notes are exactly what you're telling me. So they took, the elite, which are the wealthy individuals, heads of government. They've decided that they are protectors of the earth. Like, they know better than us. And their goal was to reduce the human population down to, quote unquote, a manageable amount. At which point, hey, there'll be a utopian society, as for some unexplained reason, getting rid of half the people on Earth will create utopia. I don't know exactly how that's going to work.
I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. We are outside.
Yeah, allergy
season.
season.
The pollen.
Right. Real life governments, real life political and monetary agenda. What are some of the tactics they're using, Jack, for population control here on Earth?
Movie or on Earth?
No, well, both, I guess.
Oh, well, in the movie, he just takes people and splits them up and just shoots them randomly. But in our world, or is it going to be randomized? I don't think so. Or maybe it is.
Maybe through
our water supply. Put in the fluoride over the years, sterilizing people.
Well, you know how the Nazis did it with the Jewish people. It's how they looked. Their noses were big.
Yeah.
They had a certain jaw set. Now they have this. Facebook is coming out with facial recognition. So maybe the
Oh, I didn't
government's
know that.
right.
Yeah.
The government's going to possibly tap into that. Oh, your nose is too big. Well, you're on the list to get exterminated. Your eyes are too far apart. See you
Well,
later.
that's how Hitler, he got rid of all the disabled people.
Right.
And anyone that couldn't take care of themselves, he just eliminated them.
Exactly. So why couldn't the government tap into Facebook to get the information they need? Or, if you get genetic testing done, you're part of, and a lot of people don't know this, if you get genetic testing done from those, those
Yeah, I got it
23andMe or whatever.
You see, last week they caught a serial killer from that.
Yeah.
He got tested in Ancestry or something like that.
The Golden State Killer, right.
Yeah, the Golden State Killer. He was
and
caught because he had his DNA tested.
Right. So, anybody out there listening to the show, if you had your DNA tested because you thought it was fun,
the government has access to it.
They have your DNA.
And I don't know how that's legal.
I
don't think it is legal, but they have the power.
It wasn't part of the Patriot Act, but there was a Congress signed some sort of act that it was a part of. So, sorry about your luck. You're in the queue. If they want to, get rid of half the population.
I think you can get rid of that. If you have that testing, you have to call the company and you have to actually delete your whole profile.
Yeah, but
you won't have access to it no more either, I don't think.
But if the government's backing it up.
But if they backed it up already, then they already backed it up. They spend billions of dollars on backing up everyone we call, everyone's text messages and stuff, from what I understand.
Well, I mean,
or data or call files and stuff.
Well, another way to control the population is to not let more humans be born.
Yeah.
Look in China, the one-child policy.
One-child policy.
Right.
And they try to keep males.
Right, and now they have a horrible problem. There's too many men, not enough women.
Yep.
There's also environmental manipulation. Maybe the government is putting the pesticides on the food. Maybe they're putting the hormones in the meat. Maybe they're helping pump greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, or at least not stopping it. They have all these climate control treaties. None of them are working. None of them have been put into effect. Maybe the government has a hand in that.
Oh, there is also propaganda put out slowly over the years for anti-family. So
right.
There's even laws where if you're single, you get more money by the government.
Yeah.
It's which has hurt the lowest classes of people in our country, where crime has risen, and high crime rates and murder rates. That's just more people dying, less people.
Right.
But the loss of the family, so it increases crime, more deaths, but that's less people being born too. They would think that, but actually people still have kids. So
right.
But people are still having the kids, but it's just worse. Yeah. So it's like, all right, maybe they thought there'd be less kids if they would get rid of the family.
Well, I'm sure every plan,
backfires.
Yeah, it could be backfire. Right, single motherhood.
Yeah.
Oh, be a single mother. You don't need a man ruining your life.
Yeah. And you don't need the baby, get an abortion.
Right. Raise your kids, be single. There you go.
And
population control.
You get more money if you're single. So.
Yeah, and we talked about diabetes. Population is getting larger, but then you hear the opposite, where in England, population is going down, and you hear in France that they're not having babies fast enough.
Certain nationalities are having
is a population control. If you get the people depressed and they're killing themselves and they're sucking down on opioids.
Oh, the opioid problem. Opioids are like the second leading cause of death, I think, right now in the United States.
Yeah.
So, I mean, every year you hear something new that's killing people or hurting people. And you're like, why did they let this get this way? And like, why they? Who's they?
So normally when you have a secret agenda like this, money's usually involved. It's how much money can we get? What can we benefit? How much money, how many houses can I acquire? Can I get a nicer car than anybody else? But this agenda of population control has nothing to do with money. Sure, people are going to make money on it, but the final solution, to borrow a phrase from Hitler, the Georgia Guidestones.
that was put there, what, in the 80s, I think?
Right, and what does it say?
It says a population of 500 million.
Right, that's low.
We are, what, 7.7 trillion, I think? Or billion?
Billion, yeah.
7.7 billion, so we'd have to eliminate like 95% of the population.
Yeah, a lot, a lot. So, you know, who knows where this is all heading and why it's heading the way it's heading.
Where did they get the number 500 million either?
I don't know.
There's like all these laws and rules. I didn't write them down. You can look them up. Look up the Georgia Guidestones. People have, like, graffitied them a lot over the years. I've got to keep washing them, but it's an unknown donor built this in Georgia. That's why it's called the Georgia Guidestones, and it's pretty much like a monument of the New World Order, probably, that, like, their plan.
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery behind it. If you ever get a chance to watch any of on the internet about it, it's pretty interesting. The guy who did it. What happened at the end of the movie? I knew it was a cliffhanger, but what was the theme?
Well, the Avengers, the Infinity War. So, Thanos, the whole movie is he's collecting these stones. He's got a weapon.
Does he end up getting all the stones?
He gets all the stones, and he pretty much becomes like a god. So, he snaps his finger, and with a snap of the finger, half of the population of the whole universe just turns to dust.
So,
and they show half of all these famous, half of all the superheroes that you knew just disappeared and died.
Wow. So, let's say the stones in his, what do they call that?
His gauntlet.
His gauntlet, that represents power, greed.
It was like mind,
money.
wisdom. Yeah.
Right.
It was like all the qualities that make him a god.
So we, on Earth, the human population, we're like the Avengers. They're trying to get rid of us. So me and you, Jack, are an Avenger.
Yes.
And Thanos, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
He is
corporate
New World Order, corporate greed and money and power and influence.
The question mark who is it?
So what? So what Avenger do you want to be then? If you were an Avenger,
I like Thor. I like Thor. He's pretty badass.
Yeah. Well,
or Captain America, but I'll go with Thor.
Huh? I never really gave it any thought, but off the top of my head, I'd probably be Captain America. I mean,
okay, so
how
my
can
top
you go
two.
wrong?
So
Right.
my top two.
Thor. So.
And I'll give you a cliffhanger. Those are two guys that are left alive.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Wow. Well, I need to go
I won't tell everyone who else died because I want to ruin
That's
it
so
too
funny
much.
because I didn't see it and you didn't tell me.
No.
Well, I will go get a garbage can lid and you go into the toolbox and
Okay.
get your mighty hammer.
But Thor's hammer's destroyed. He gets a new weapon.
Dang. So what are we gonna
He's
get?
got an axe.
We
He
gotta
switches
find an
from-
axe.
Yeah.
We gotta get to a Home Depot.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go. Thanks for joining us on the Paranormal Roadshow.
So this is part one of population control. I'm sure we'll find more material on it, but we thought it would mix good with the new Avengers movie because it's pretty much the same theme of the movie, population control.
So part 2, we gotta wait till next year to make it after the movie, so we see what
Yeah.
happens, so we can answer the question finally how to defeat this evil agenda.
Yes, maybe the movie will give us the clue.
All right, sounds good
All
to
right.
me.
All right, this is Paranormal Roadshow. I'm Jack.
This is Mike.
All right, bye.
See ya.